as the outcome of this game. It's those two players right now on your screen. Of course, ToD from Root Gaming, viOlet from Azubu. We're going to Cloud Kingdom.
Let's make it happen.
IPL 5. Welcome to IPL 5 Cloud Kingdom.
Oh yes, welcome to IPL 5 Cloud Kingdom. That might have been a very intimidating looking Protoss statue there, but the question is, will ToD be able to live up to the legacy of his race? Because he's up against this guy in the northeast, in the blue trunks, playing Zerg. It is
Azubu viOlet.
looking focused and quite frankly unflapped by anything that ToD has thrown at him so far, but the question is, can he come up with anything else? We're about to find out, because in the southwest of Cloud Kingdom, playing Protoss in the red trunks, it is
Root Gaming ToD.
Currently living in California, so didn't have to travel too far to be at this tournament. Probably, well, I'm pretty sure he's not jet lagged at all.
No.
I'd be very surprised if he was. It's only about a 45-minute flight, so...
Yeah, that's not exactly what I'd call crazy. In fact, you know, viOlet didn't have to really travel all that far either. He is based in Texas at the moment, and neither of these guys are going to be affected by jet lag all that much. But the question is, can ToD pull anything out of his hat? Because, as you pointed out, this is a map where Immortal Sentry all-in can certainly work out, and wow, he really doesn't want that base going down. The pool did go down first, which was a very smart move there from viOlet, so he'll be able to get a couple of lings out. Does force 4 lings out initially. 6 lings, in fact.
I wouldn't be surprised if he actually charged at the Nexus here.
Yeah, he very well might.
Going Nexus first and a pylon block actually delays the Forge a lot, as you can see. And he could actually be hard pressed. Yeah, so he may send 4 lings across the map and leave 2 behind to deal with the pylons. We'll see how he's going to do it. Of course, it's up to viOlet and how he wants to approach this. And yeah, he's just going to send 4 lings and charge at this Nexus here. So we'll see if ToD can actually mount the correct wall off. He's going to have to wall off completely.
Certainly.
Otherwise, he's going to let these lings in.
Yeah, he must know that this is coming. What?
That's right. This guy doesn't want viOlet to expand there at all.
He really doesn't. Yeah, that would be, of course, at the moment, a proxy gateway in the natural of the Zerg, which is not exactly what I would call standard. And the question is, can ToD actually get this wall off down? Is it complete? It is not complete.
And that's the problem when you try to do this, unfortunately. And that cannon's going to fall as well. These probes are trying to get there as fast as they can, but it's not going to be enough. The cannon falls, and this is disastrous here for ToD, who basically had all his money in one hand. It was like, well, I want to do everything, and that's not possible.
Yeah, and it's the very idea of the proxy gateway is just simply to block that expansion. There's no way in a million years it would be allowed to finish and actually build anything. But now he's lost a ton of mining time. His opponent hasn't been able to expand, I'll give him all credit for that, but he has been able to grab that base right there, and he's looking to be on course, and another cannon's about to go down, and ToD is in a lot of trouble here.
ToD is in a world of trouble right now. He's just been... these lings are a great micro. ToD has messed this one up, as simple as that is. As right now the lings are in the main base as well. The Zealot is trying to be chrono boosted out. A couple of probes may fall.
Ooh, nice.
Good surrounds.
Very nice, actually. Probe drill being used right there. Takes out a good number of lings. The others are very much damaged. 4 workers killed so far, which is not as severe as it might appear. But now that base is down. That one's already finished. And viOlet needs to mine.
Yeah, that's a mistake. That will actually slow viOlet down, and he does actually recover quite fast there.
Yeah, that's actually viOlet just giving a little bit of a hand to his opponent, saying, this will be fair. I'll just give you a bit of a head start. But I'm not sure that's really going to be helping ToD from this position, although he is starting to stabilize. Does need to get these lings out of the base, though.
ToD's gases are late. ToD's probe count's low, and it's not looking too good for ToD. Wow. He's playing quite far behind in this game. His side net scores late as well, as we can see. And behind this, viOlet is pretty much can do whatever he wants. So usually when you're playing against a Protoss player who's behind like this, is that you can drone more so than would do regularly because he's slower. So for example, a standard stop point for a Zerg, if he was worried about a 2-base attack, would be 55 drones. But because ToD's playing 30 seconds behind where he would be, that 30 seconds can be used for more drones. So that 55 drone stop would now be 65, for example, because viOlet has room for another round of drones. So no matter what happens here, viOlet's going to be in good shape.
It seems like, honestly, ToD's got to rely on viOlet making some kind of error or just getting overly impetuous, but viOlet's not the kind of player to really do that. He's not known as an aggressive player. He's known as a very smart player, very patient and reactionary player, plays Zerg the way that Zerg should be. Roach Warren being added on just for a little bit of defensive purposes, also going up to lair here. Could, of course, just go with a Roach Infested composition from here, but what does ToD do? I mean, he can't possibly be going for 2-base Immortal Sentry all in from this position. No, he's gone for the third. There we go.
He spent all his Chrono Boost in recovering probes. Therefore, if he was to go for a 2-base attack, it would come minutes later than it would be
useless.
Because he can't Chrono Boost into the Immortals to get the units out, all the Warp Gate research down. So in this position, the only thing he can do is take a 3rd base here. A risky 3rd base to be taken, but again, this is a map where 3rd bases can be taken. If he can do it on Ohana, he can do it here. The question is now, though, what does viOlet do?
Yeah, I have to wonder if taking the 3rd base may very well force a reaction here from viOlet. And viOlet, does he take a 4th? Probably not. I mean, so early on, it's really easy to be stretched out by the Protoss who can warp in. Warp Prism is already on the way. Pylon going down in the corner there. Just to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, this is really cool play from ToD because the 3rd base has not been spotted. That pylon is basically a fake saying, all right, you know, I'm going to actually come and get you now with my 2-base attack. Are you ready? And viOlet now is building a lot of units, which are defensive units. They're not used for aggression.
No.
And ToD's played this mind game out. The Warp Prism is a fake as well, so everything's working in his plan right now. This is great from ToD, and this is actually going to allow him to catch back up in the game for sure, especially now that the pylon has been revealed. There's a lot of units being made for viOlet, and ToD's 3rd base is down, and now viOlet with the oversave finally sees it for the first time in this game, and now is like, oh, crap, okay, I guess I got to go with these units to do something now. And as long as ToD can defend, he's in really, really good shape now, or at least caught up to where he had fallen behind in earlier.
So smart there from ToD. Honestly, really, really cool play to see from him thus far. Warp Prism is now on the way. See what kind of damage he can do with it. We've got a little bit of a Ling run by, but that's a complete wall off. He's not worrying about that. He's even spreading the forces around. So if this big Roach Sledgehammer hits, it's going to be much, much weaker on the 3rd. Although he's actually going to need some units. 1 cannon and a sentry is not going to be enough to hold this.
That's right. There's a cannon down south, but it's not in position. And ToD's going to have to think about defending. As mentioned earlier on, if he can defend this, he's in good shape. But that is if. And right now it is not looking like he can. He's lost 2 cannons already. Pylons are going to fall. Sentry being walked in. A Sentry almost gets lost as well.
That was the coolest force field I've ever seen, but unfortunately I don't think it's going to be enough to hold that 3rd base. There's 30 Roaches on the field, and this was what I was worried about. If ToD does something a little bit freaky, then what he could do is force a reaction from viOlet that might be too much for him to handle. Nice micro so far on these sentries, incredible stuff, but he doesn't have the firepower to stop the Roaches. Once the Nexus comes down, that opens up the floodgates.
And he knows he's about to lose all the sentries if he stays here. The 3rd Nexus falls down. viOlet has broken ToD in this game once again, and Immortal is out to help defend. And it's actually...
I would not recommend wandering over there. That doesn't seem like a good idea at all. Oh no, he's misrallied the Immortal.
Oh, well, that's going to go down quite easily if viOlet wants to bring it down. Unfortunately, it looks like it will just about make its way home.
Yeah, he might be lucky with this one. And the last shot comes in, and viOlet takes it out. And yeah, that was a mistake from ToD again, and this is all backfired horribly on him so far. Losing that base, he's now going to go for some sentry harassment. A 4th base has been taken uncontested thus far here from viOlet. And honestly, from this position, viOlet's got 33 Roaches. He can just power his way through.
Yeah, and look at that. Drones come off to make sure that he doesn't get force field on the ramp. And everything for ToD in this game has gone wrong. He supply blocked massively there. He had no gateways. GG, well played. viOlet 2-0's ToD in the first game of IPL 5.
Convincing victory there for viOlet, certainly. Some great mind games coming in from ToD, but unfortunately, it turns out it wasn't quite enough. and the execution really wasn't there. We had this big sledgehammer come in with the roaches, and how do you stop that? Well, you certainly don't do it with 2 cannons and 1 sentry, Apollo.
That's right. Not quite enough units there.
No.
And again, ToD was trying to play from behind, got the Warp Prism out there to try and keep his opponent back a little bit longer with that mind game as mentioned to keep him there. But unfortunately, viOlet was on top of things, pushed him back, got 4 links initially on that just slowed down ToD too much. ToD took a gamble, took a risk, didn't quite pay off, and viOlet was there to seal the deal for his first victory of this tournament.
Good start for viOlet, certainly. You want to be staying in that winner's bracket as far as I'm concerned. But even then, it's such a hard bracket. Going to be way, way worse for ToD, though, no question, who goes down to the lower bracket immediately. That's a very hard road for the Frenchman.
That is a very, very difficult road to come back from. ToD Biscuit, a very difficult one indeed.
Yes, it is. Well, that